Welcome to the Creative Diaries. I'm your host, Ciara Kelleher, and today I'm here with Samuel Arnold. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No worries. I really wanted to get you on this for ages, actually, because I've heard so much about you and what a hard worker you are from all the crew at GFCA. So I wanted to start off asking you a bit about, are your parents creative? What got you into acting in the first place?
So, my parents are not creative at all. I've got a lot of people in my family doing artistic stuff. My sister used to draw a lot. She wanted to be a designer, clothes designer. My other sister is a dancer, very successful one actually in Paris. She's got her own dance school and everything. And I got into dancing first. I was dancing a lot, hip hop at first, and I did TV. How do you call that? Like French Got Talent in Paris. This got me into like professional dancing, and I did like tour with my group and everything. But I always wanted to be an actor because I was watching like the French Prince, and I was like, oh, I want to do like this guy.
Yeah.
I want to do like this guy. So yeah, since I was a kid, I always wanted to be an actor.
Okay.
Just to be like having fun on set, just to play.
And when you say you did France Has Got Talent,
Yeah.
what did you do? Dancing?
Yeah, dancing. Yeah, that was as a dancer.
Is there clips of that online?
Yeah, there is actually.
Really? So you made it through all the stages till the final round?
Yeah, actually I did. Yeah,
that's amazing.
With my group, I was part of an ensemble.
What kind of group?
Yeah, we were called Secrets of Moonwalk. We were dancing like on Michael Jackson's music.
Okay.
It was in 2009 when Michael Jackson died. So I think the channel wanted people to represent like Michael Jackson and stuff. So they called us to participate. Yeah.
And how did you get into acting then? How did you shift from dancing to acting?
So what happened is that like I really wanted to be like a web designer, and I was like, oh damn, like the studies are like long and hard, and I was like, I always love to draw and I love computers and everything, and I was like, yeah, but it's tiring. So I'm like, I may as well try to be an actor. So I applied for an acting school instead.
Yeah, you went for the way easier route.
Yeah, I thought I was going for the easier path, you know.
Yeah.
But then I realized like it wasn't.
Okay.
It's pretty tough. So I went to an acting school in Paris for a year, and then from that's when I met Giles Foreman, who's got his school in London, Soho. And he said, you should go to London. And I'm like, I don't speak English. And he's like, you should go to London, like to train. You'll learn. So a month later, I'm in the train to London. I can't speak a word.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I found a job. I go to some few classes, movement class, voice classes, acting classes for like a year. And by that time, I could like get by in English, so I applied to get into a intensive acting program at the Giles Foreman Center for Acting. This is where I did my training. I graduated, and I stayed.
What do you think it was about you that Giles thought that you should move to London and pursue acting here?
I have no idea. I guess he thought I was talented. I think.
Yeah.
I guess no. I think he thought I could bring movement into acting. I don't know if you see what I mean. It's like more like I could bring the character to life physically. I had not the skill to bring the character to life intellectually and even maybe in the voice or his speech, but I could get them like quite physically, and I know that this is the way he works. So I think he thought that like his technique was more like fitted for me. I think that's more what he thought would be better for me.
And what was the name of the school in France you went to?
EICAR.
Okay.
It's EICAR, called EICAR. It's a cinema school. It's a very nice school. It was holidays. I loved it. It was like I had so much fun. I didn't feel like, I'm sorry for them, but I didn't feel like I've learned a lot over there. But I had a lot of fun because it's a cinema school. So they have like course for directors, writers, producers, and they're always doing projects. So they cast people from the acting section.
Yeah.
So we were always shooting stuff with the other students and stuff. So you're always like, literally it's like a little industry in the school. It was nice. I had a lot of fun. But I had no one to tell me, no, that's wrong, or no, it's bad. Everybody was always saying like, oh, amazing, yeah, cool.
Oh, really?
And you can't grow from like that.
But then that made it such a big step to move from a school where you had a little community to go to London where you didn't speak the language completely alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was tough.
What
Uh,
made you take that leap?
I watched TV in France, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's not why I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be an actor because I wanted to be in those movies and series that I used to love as a kid, and I wanted to tell those stories.
Like what series?
As a kid, it would be like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Growing up, it would be Matrix, all those action movies and superhero movies and all those stuff. Like, as a kid, it's like, wow, I want to do that. And, the more you grow up, the more you understand stuff, and the more you're like, oh, I want to tell like deeper stories. I think yesterday was the Oscar, it was yesterday, and you see like those movies like Parasite, The Joker, The Irishman, all those stuff. Like, obviously, I will never be cast to play The Irishman. But that's the kind of stories you want to tell, and there is not enough stories like that told in France. There is a beautiful cinema in France, beautiful cinema, but there is way more opportunity in the English-speaking market, I'd say, for an actor like me, even though I'm French.
So there's like quite a lot of debate about if people need to go to drama school or not. Do you think that if you want to be an actor, it's necessary to go to drama school?
I think that it's not. I think that you don't have to go to drama school to be able to act in a movie or in a film. But if you want to reach your full potential as an actor, you should train. In any ways, you should train. It's like anything else. If you want to be a professional, football player, like you could be amazing and never been to a club. You could be an amazing football player, but you would never be as good as you would be if you had been trained. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying, some people are geniuses. I never met one, but some people are geniuses. They can have it like that. They don't need to. But I'm sure those people would be even better if they had trained before. So I just think that you can do it. People have done it. People have been like being big stars and stuff because like they've been seen in the street, and they, I want you in my movie, and they kill it in the movie, and then they make a career from this, What I mean? But yeah, if you want to reach your full potential, you got to train, I think.
And do you feel like you reached your full potential?
No, no, that's all. No. I mean, the aim is to reach your full potential, but I think by definition, you never do. You always grow.
So what classes at drama school did you feel were suited to you?
Everything. In drama school, it was because of the intensity of it. I didn't really think. I was just doing stuff. I was just doing it, and I learned from everything I was doing. We had fight classes, dance classes, voice classes, acting analysis, and by doing it again and over again, you get to understand, to get a working method. And what he said that I needed when I arrived, he said I needed discipline. You get discipline. I had no discipline at all. So I needed to learn that, and I think that's the thing that is the most useful to me today, the discipline, and the thing that you get work to do, and you do it, and you get it done.
So that's literally the one thing I heard about you when I moved
did you?
that you have discipline. Yeah.
No way.
You somehow managed to go to drama school.
That is so funny because I wasn't that guy at all.
Really?
I always been the bad student at school. Always sitting at the back of the class and laughing and joking. Nice guy, but never really taken seriously.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess then drama school made me a
disciplined
student. Yeah.
Did you get an agent from the showcase?
Yeah, I actually got 2 agents from the showcase. I got an agent in the UK and an agent in Paris.
Oh my god.
And I just signed up with an agent in China.
That's amazing.
Which is amazing.
Are you still with the same agents that you got from the showcase?
No, my agent in London, I had to stop working with them. And we went our different ways. And then I signed up with an amazing agent who's been amazing from even before I signed with him. So I'm still with him right now.
How long ago did you graduate from drama school?
4 or 5 years, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been with this new agent then as well?
Must be 2 or 3 years. 2 years and a half.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years.
So would you say the last 2 or 3 years things have really taken off for you since you got this new agent?
Yeah. I think since it's been 2 years that I've been working a bit more as an actor, because I was working in a restaurant as a bartender and as a waiter. Because you gotta pay the bills, you gotta eat,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Wait,
Uh,
which restaurant? So
in Oaxaca restaurant,
Oh my
Mexican
God.
restaurant in London, best Mexican
in
restaurant.
Soho.
Yeah, no, in Wimbledon.
Oh, I love Oaxaca.
Yeah, Oaxaca's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have to be honest, I don't like the food in this country. That's the only thing I don't like, and Oaxaca is pretty good.
Yeah, because that'll
Yeah.
be their claim to fame now. Anyway, never mind. In a couple of years.
And yeah, so yeah, I had to work in a restaurant, and since I signed with that agent, because it got me a lot of work, I'm working less and less in this restaurant. Like I was starting to work like 3 times a week, then 2 times a week, then 1 time a week, then not at all for a few weeks, and then back to it. And yeah, so I'm becoming a full-time actor.
Yeah. Do you have anyone you've worked with recently that you've kind of found inspirational or has made an impact on you?
Well, I've been working with, like, I call them monsters, like, because like I've been working with Ray Fiennes at the National Theatre, which was like insane to see him do what he does on stage, because he's literally like he's Godzilla, literally. He's killing it. He's like, and he's every single night for 3 hours, full on, like 100%. And you're like, damn, I feel tired. And then you look at this guy and like, oh, well, I can't complain. He's in every single scene, and he's like punching his way through the play.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see that, and you learn a lot by seeing that every night. And it's Shakespeare. It's beautiful. The language is beautiful. Like, the actors are amazing. Sophia Okonedo was playing Cleopatra. She's a queen. She is. So that was a good casting, though. Yeah, the last people I've been working with, I'm on this big TV show. Like, that's the biggest thing I did so far.
What is it?
It's called Emily in Paris. So it's set in Paris. And it's produced by the guy who did Sex and the City. His name is Darren Star. People might know him. The main character is played by Lily Collins. So it's quite a big deal, because she is a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been to New York for the first time like a few weeks ago, and I see her face everywhere in the airport. Like, she's like,
it's a beautiful face.
So yeah, I learned a lot working with her. I learned a lot working with her because we're like the same age, and she is so professional on every level, and she's so humble. And it's easy to work with her because I'm like, oh, damn, that's Lily Collins. She's Lily Collins, but you get there and she's an actress and you're an actor and we got to work. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it's easy because she puts you on the same level as her, even though we are not yet. And that was very nice to work with her for 4 months on a TV show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know when that's coming out?
Nope.
Okay. Can you detail a little bit your career since drama school? What have the last 4 or 5 years looked like?
So I graduated, then 2 weeks after, I did a movie in Paris. I was like, dang, bam, I'm gonna kill it. Yeah, that's easy, baby. Like, I did
2 weeks after.
Like one audition, failed, like massively failed the audition in Paris. Second audition, nailed it. Get the part. I play with Valérie Carcenti, she's a famous TV actress in France. I get to rub her shop.
Oh,
so I get.
Yeah, I was wondering what you're
yeah.
doing.
That's why I'm like, okay, give me the money and stuff, blah blah blah, in French. Then I get shot and I die.
Oh, that's a fun role.
Yeah. But that was cool. I was in south of France for a few weeks, and that was my first experience on television. So that was nice. I was like, okay, I'm launched. Let's go. And then nothing happened. Nothing happened for weeks and weeks and months. And I audition a lot, which is nice. But auditions it's weird. It's not like an acting job. Like, auditions are like a thing in itself. You think that you're training to be a good actor, but before being a good actor, you need to be a good auditioner, I should say. You know what I mean? I mean, you must know you're an actress too.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I am.
And yes, so I took some time to get this mechanic of nailing the audition. And then when you do nail the audition, then it's not your choice to get the part. So even though you killed it, you know, they might need someone tall, skinny, blue eyes, with more age than you, with less than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With a bit of, so it's not on you. So you just keep working until it works. Then after that, I did a few commercials. I can't remember, for alcohol beverages. Then I did a few music videos. I stopped focusing on auditions and I start working on my stuff. So I start writing a lot, and I produced and direct a web series.
Okay.
A web series with a friend of mine.
What's that called?
In Paris. It's called Les Petits Princes, the Little Princes. And I've only released a trailer so far.
How did you get that name?
The Little Princes?
Yeah, because I would have thought that would be like a copyright issue.
No? Oh, yeah?
Maybe not. Okay,
Why?
never mind.
Why?
No, because
there is a movie called Les Petits Princes, but when I did the thing, I was only doing it to get images. I wasn't doing it to sell or to. There were no financial vision.
Yeah.
It was pure art. It was
much
just
like this podcast. Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
so yeah, I did the thing, and we shot a lot. We had a lot of actors involved, French actors, British actors, Italian actors. We shot in Paris and in London. We were like. People like the thing looks like $1 million production.
Great.
And I spent way less.
Okay.
Way less. It was a lot of favors and help from people.
Did you get friends to be in it?
Yeah, friends from drama school.
Yeah.
And I did audition a few people, and yeah, it was very nice. I learned a lot because it's like I think it's the best way to learn. Just go for it and practice. So then I did that, and then I stopped. This is when I went to the National Theatre. And after the National Theatre, I went on a TV show in France for one episode. And after that, I must have done a few things. But, the thing that the most memorable is the Emily in Paris bit.
Yeah.
Which is the last thing I did. And, yeah.
Okay. Because I think the first time I met you, you'd just done a Molière play. I don't know if I remember that incorrectly.
Yeah, the Molière play. So yeah, I did that just before the National Theatre.
Yeah.
So that was actually a very, very, very good experience because we were doing it was Le Misanthrope. I don't know how you say that in English.
Yeah.
The Misanthrope.
Misanthrope? I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. Well, the Misanthrope from Molière, it was from a French company, a theater company, and they were doing they did the play the year before, and they were doing it again, but they were looking to cast my character again because the actor couldn't do it. So I got the part, and the thing we went on for I think 2 or 3 weeks, and we were doing 3 days in English, and then 3 days in French. So there was a lot of lines to learn, and you would think that it's okay, you speak English, you speak French, so you just translate. No. But actually, it was 2 different plays because then you realize that French and English are so different in the energy, and everything you do is so different. Like what you would say in French, you don't say it the same way in English. And acting-wise, you learn a lot because you feed your character from the French way of delivering the lines, and the French version feeds itself from the English way of delivering the lines, and it's just growing all the time.
Did you change your character? Because obviously there's a lot of the things wouldn't be directly translated.
I'd say it must be a bit of a cliche, but I'd say my character was more charming in French, and he had more sass in English.
Oh, okay.
Which I think I don't know why. I don't know. It must be the language
okay.
tempo, and
so French naturally brings something out of you.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah.
When you're talking about all these things in drama school, have you had someone in the complete opposite way? When I was asking earlier about who's inspired you, have you had anyone that says, you can't do this, or said, why don't you try a 9-to-5 job? Like someone that's been against you acting? Actually,
I've always been very, very supported in everything I always wanted to do. I've always been told, you're gonna make it. You're alright. You're okay.
Really?
Don't worry. I'm not worrying about you. And I'm like, worry about me? I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's not like that. I'm like, I think I'm the person who have been the most negative about myself. Everybody has been always positive with me. Like they always said, like, "Oh, you want to be an actor?" Yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always been like, it might not work though,
Yeah.
And still, it might not work. You never know. You can do something today, and nothing can happen tomorrow. That's the game, ain't it? You never know.
Yeah, no. I had like some weird support from randomers. I think when I was auditioning for drama school, the guy was like, "What?" I was in an Uber. The guy was like, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm auditioning for drama school." And he was like, "I can imagine you as an actress because you could play the writer and the serial killer because you look like both." And I was just looking at him like, "Oh, okay." And then he was like, "I'm really into murder stories." So it was a very strange Uber ride because it's not what I would have imagined. But earlier when you were talking about being a good auditioner, do you have any tips for people that are auditioning?
Yeah.
I've just completely changed the subject.
Yeah,
but
for real. No, but I actually have.
Okay.
I actually have. Listen to my wiseness.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. No, for real. Like, you will hear people telling you, you have to be like this, you have to do that in audition room. Some actors go to acting workshop, and the casting director would say, "Oh yeah, when you get there, don't do that, or don't do that, or do that." And everybody's right. I think your job as an actor is to get in the room and assess the situation and understand what you need to do in that exact moment. What will work with a casting director today won't work with a casting director tomorrow. So obviously, be polite. Okay, don't be rude, which you would do with anyone, not only a casting director, with someone in the street. Just be human. Don't be too needy, even you do need the part, and just adapt. Be quick. Think before you speak. Yeah, that's it. I think that if you do that, you'd be a star. No, I'm joking.
Do you adapt to trends? Do you look online and see what casting directors are saying now as opposed to what they were saying before?
No, but I do go on casting director workshop.
Yeah.
I do go there, and I haven't done it in France, but I do it a lot in the UK, and they're quite all on the same page, most of them, I'd say. Yeah, I think in most of the case, you just gotta be a nice guy. They like humor, and I think most of the time they're having a tough day, a long and tough day. They have like deadlines, and they have to get the job done. So when you arrive with a good energy and a smile, I mean, that's half of the way. Then you gotta act.
Yeah.
Then you gotta act. Yeah.
And what about for acting? Because we were talking about how auditioning and acting are two different.
Well, acting, if I have to give a tip for acting, I think you got to do what works for you. And for example, if I take myself as an example, I've been trained and I've been taught some stuff that I would reuse in some of my character, but that would not work for other characters. For some characters, I will just look myself and kind of freestyle, do my own research, try to feel it, intuitively. And for other characters, I would be more academic. I would just like break down the script, break down the characteristic of the character and everything. And yeah, you gotta do what works for you at that moment with that character. So no matter what you've learned, don't force yourself to do it if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, if you're blocked, try something else.
That's really good advice.
Thank you.
You're like, I know. Yeah. No, I'm trying to think what advice I would give.
What would be your biggest issues or struggles when let's say everything goes wrong with a character? What would go wrong?
What would go wrong?
Yeah.
God, I guess I have like nervous things. So the main thing that drama school helped me with was because I was doing a lot of things I didn't know I was doing. Self-awareness maybe. Yeah. So I have like nervous tics. That's probably a good way to put it.
Yeah.
In that's probably what went wrong. You get in your own way before you've even started. By reverting back to bad habits, which have nothing to do with the character or your ability, but that, I don't know, it's in the body, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody can relate to that.
Yeah.
We can all relate to that. But yeah, I think that once again, I think you got to do what works for you. Like, if you get into those habits, how do you get rid of it? And this is just like learning to know yourself and to know what's make you feel comfortable, and what do you need to do. If do you need to go for a run? Do you need to dance? Do you need to sing? Do you need to...
Did you have anything that was pointed out to you?
That, like, my main concern and my, like, the thing I'm still like self-conscious with is even in French, like, is the way I speak, like the way I enunciate the words and everything, because I've been trained in a foreign language, so obviously it was a bit of a struggle, and it still is. Obviously, I got better now, but that was the main thing that was pointed at me. It was like, oh, that's amazing, you got the character and everything, but I can't understand what you're saying, and that would make me feel like so self-conscious.
Yeah.
And because of that, I would have, like you, like, tick, and I would be aware of everything that I'm doing that has nothing to do with the character, you know. And but I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's pretty brave to come on a podcast.
I'm getting there. Yeah. I was actually self-conscious. I was like, damn, like, because like sometimes you just can't speak another language. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I just can't speak English. I'm like, no. And I spend a lot of time on online.
Yeah.
I'm a heavy video game player, so I spend a lot of time online with my French friends. So even though I'm living in the UK, I speak a lot of French to my friends online. Always French, and then I go back to the real world, and it's in English. I'm like, oh yeah, we're in the UK, it's in English.
How do you deal with accents and stuff then when they ask you in auditions, can you do this? Or
So
can you do RP?
I'm getting better at this. Now I can quite get there and fool people only on a script. So like if I have my lines, I can learn it with a British accent, you know. Not like RP, but I can fool you into believing that I'm a Londoner, but only on those lines given. So I will practice those lines in an accent. So if it's general American or London or things like that, I will be able to do it, but only on those lines. You know, I won't be able to just improvise on an accent like that. But I think it will come with time. Just have to keep working on it, I guess.
Yeah. How are you with the Irish accent?
I'm very good.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
You would think I'm Irish.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you.
You're
I
going
just
to have
think
to
it would be
believe
mean.
me.
I want to talk a bit about your upcoming projects and things you have coming out this year. Yes, tell me about them.
So, okay. So, Emily in Paris. I don't think I can tell a lot of things about. I don't know what I'm allowed to tell about it. Like,
yeah.
Apart from what's online, which is that it's produced by Darren Star, starring with Lily Collins, and it's set in Paris, and it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big, yeah, and it's gonna be funny, and I think a lot of people will like.
Can you say your part in it? Are you in multiple episodes?
I don't want to say the part I have. Yeah, I am in multiple episodes.
Okay.
I don't want to describe my character because it's not described yet online.
Okay.
So
it's a surprise.
And also I want people to discover. What I can say, it's a character very far from who I am, and I like it because, you know, it's allow you to explore something totally different than who you are. So obviously it's still me playing the character, you know, but it's a character with very strong characteristics, I would say. And I am going to Cannes Festival for the first time, which is cool. I'm going with my agent, doing some networking, and yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm like a kid with stars in my eyes. That's so cool. I like it.
Wait, this is a bit of a random question. Were you in The Witcher, or have I imagined?
Oh, shall I tell you the story of this? So,
yeah.
So I'm a big fan of The Witcher. I'm a big fan of The Witcher. I played the video games. I read the books. Not all of them. No, actually, I read one book. And I watched the film. There was like an old film with who was it? Christophe Lambert, or I don't remember the actor who was playing The Witcher. Anyway, so I'm a big fan of it, and I saw like there is The Witcher coming up, so I was like excited with my friends. We're all like a nerdy gang, and we were all excited. Yeah, like I don't look like that, but I'm a bit of a nerd. Yeah, and my agent goes like, "Oh, there is a workshop. Sophie Holland, casting director for The Witcher." I was like, "No way!" So I want her to see me. I mean, that's The Witcher. I'm a big fan of it. So I go to the workshop, and I know why you're asking that, because you've seen pictures online.
No.
No, you didn't?
No, I did, yeah.
Okay, you did.
Yeah.
And so
I did
go.
some research for this. Just,
Okay. You did your homework. So I'm meeting up with this Sophie Holland, who's casting The Witcher. On our one-on-one, I'm like, do you know what? I'm a big fan of The Witcher. Like, I'm telling her everything I know about The Witcher and stuff. And she's like, oh, nice and stuff. And blah, blah, blah. We speak. And then my agent called me and said, Samuel, do you want to go to the premiere of The Witcher in London? I'm like, well, yeah. Who wouldn't want to go to the premiere of The Witcher in London? So I go there, and with Sophie Holland. So she takes me to the red carpet. I pass Henry Cavill right next to me. I'm like, hey, dude, what's up? We've watched the first episode, which I thought was very good. That's how I got myself into the red carpet of The Witcher. I had nothing to do with it.
That's a
nothing
shame.
to do.
Yeah.
Literally
That's really
nothing
cool,
to do.
though.
I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, just, hey. That was my first red carpet as well. I'd never been in a red carpet before. So I was like, I may as well...
take photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd really like to do in the future? Anyone you'd really like to work with or play, character-wise?
I've seen a movie, and I'm feeling very bad because I can't remember the title. It's the Frequency... Anyway, there is this like spy movie, and the main character was she was in Gossip Girl.
Blake Lively, Leighton Meester.
Yeah.
Which
and
one?
She just did her last movie.
Blake
Lively.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Her last movie. In her last movie, she is amazing. She's amazing. I'm like, oh damn, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. So it was like a James Bond movie, but with so much realism to it and so much depth in the story, and the character journey is amazing. She's like a drug addict, prostitute, and she ends up being like a fierce hit woman, spy slash hero, and it's all very realistic and very focused on the storytelling, and it's very nice. I loved it, and I would love to be in something like that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
One question I've been asking people is, what story would you... this is like... I have to ask this question even though I've just completely moved on. What story would you tell him Graham Norton's Red Chair? Have you seen Graham Norton?
Yeah. I have one story.
Okay.
I have one story. It's quite embarrassing though.
Perfect.
Yeah, just because it's you, I'm telling you that. It was during drama school actually. I was with a friend of mine, and we were walking in Soho, and across the road I see Charlize Theron, and I'm like, I feel very bad to say that now. I'm like with my friend, and I'm like, she's literally like in front of me, moving like, you know, like literally a fanboy. I'm ashamed of saying that, but I'm literally like a fanboy, and I'm saying, bro, that's Sharon Stone, and I scream, that's Sharon Stone. And she looks at me like with like, I don't know if she heard me, but she looked at me like very like back off, you know. And she was with a child, so I'm guessing that was her child. So, and she just kept walking, and I was like, I was like, hopefully she never remembers me.
Yeah,
that was very awkward.
Probably happens a lot.
If I meet her again, I won't mention it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Or maybe I will. I don't know.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
So where can people follow you if they want to keep up with what you're doing?
So I'm on Instagram.
Do you know your handle?
It's SUPPER/ No, it's not. No, hey guys, I don't know my Instagram.
This is it. SUPPERSAMA.
Super Sama. Yeah, I did it when I was in what's college for you guys?
University.
Yeah,
Here they do college and university.
The thing before university.
High school, secondary school.
Yeah, I did it my first year of high school, so don't judge the name of my Instagram.
Why is it named that way?
Because when I was doing hip hop dance, my nickname was Super Sama.
Why was that your nickname?
Because I thought I was super.
Oh.
And my name is Samuel Arnold, so Sam.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm very embarrassed, like, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, about that. I'm sorry, maybe it's too much.
No.
But I do like it.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before I...
Yeah, no, I literally, it's not every day that I get express my voice. And now that I got the opportunity, I have no idea what to say. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna take over the world or something. World domination.
No. I just think that I'm gonna keep working on my craft, be a good person, and I encourage everybody to be a good person.
Yeah.
To everyone else, because we're living in a quite special world, I'd say.
That's a nice way to put it.
To be polite.
Yeah.
So let's make it special in a good way.
There you go.
And let's. I'm gonna on my side tell stories to make this world special. And yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So follow Samuel. Yeah, and keep an eye out for Emily in Paris.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.